Macho Friend and I are about to hit the road and head down to Wildwood, New Jersey, so we can hit the boardwalk where two of my favorite collectible shops are, Mike's 1 and Mike's 2. There's always some great vintage, loose, and modern stuff. Let's go! All right, starting off with what I refer to as Mike's 1 on the boardwalk, just because it comes first with the way that I enter the boardwalk. However, this place is pretty cool. They have a huge selection. However, the one thing about it is you will find things like this that are highly overpriced, and then you will find gems that are severely underpriced. For instance, I found a WCW Original San Francisco Toy Makers Lex Luger figure mint on card at this shop, and I spent $8 on it. You really just got to dig through and find the gems, the diamonds in the rough. They had a ton of elites, including the Ringside Collectibles exclusive John Cone, which I thought was pretty fairly priced considering it's an online-only exclusive. They also had the prototype John Cena, which I do want to pick up, that has that prototype head, as well as the additional titles. This was originally a Toys R Us exclusive, but Ringside took over and just made it better with the new articulation as well as that updated head sculpt with the blonde tips. Down here, they had some basics, nothing too crazy, nothing too new, honestly. Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, John Cena. They even had that new Rock as well as Mr. Perfect, but nothing that we needed, nothing that we were after. I was hoping they would have that standard edition Chelsea green because I do have the Chase variant thanks to my man MBG1211. Over here, they had some non-wrestling stuff, Pokemon, Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and a huge pop wall. Say what's up to Macho Friend Scope in the joint. But we're going to see what else they have and head over to the movie/horror section. There's those Trick or Treat House of a Thousand Corpses figures, which I love, did unboxings on the channel. I think it's a very great line. They do retroactive figures in like the most perfect, authentic way. Had some Simpsons, Elvira. They have a bunch of NECA stuff, all different movies, but nothing that we were going to pick up. It's just always fun seeing the new selections as well as the vintage toys. Like these Spawn figures bring me back, especially the movie figures. But as I was looking, to my left, they had a room filled with pictures and autographs. I went through, I could not find any wrestling autographs except for this unsigned UFC Phil Brooks picture. I moved on to the front where they had their glass case of Lucy's. Usually this is much more stacked with much better figures. These are kind of just like the baseline generic basics as well as Jack's Ruthless Aggression figures. Nothing too exceptional. The occasional elite was popping up, but nothing that was worth really asking the price for or asking to see. So I kind of just moved on from this. We went over to Mike's 2, which I think personally had a much better selection. Not only that, but the place was empty, so I had free reign to come in and film in a much more efficient fashion. Down here, they had their Lucy case, which was much better. As I suspected, had superstars in there, Hasbro's, Elite, classic superstars, as well as Titantrons, BCAs, but then they had this $5 bin, which honestly was so much better. They had a juiced up Taker as well as this Zack Ryder Deluxe Aggression figure for $5. I am 1000% leaving with that. They had Eugene, they had over here Kenny Dykstra, but also Mankind, and then I saw this, a Jesse head on a Hardcore Holly body. You'll see they also have Stranger Things in there. Kind of cool to have a discount bin for kids who are coming in and don't have a lot of money to spend, but they want to leave with something. I thought this was cool, but I didn't want to take too much from it. Just took the one figure I wanted. I could have bought them all, maybe profited, but to me, these things are for kids who are on vacation to pick up, so I kind of left them there. They had some championship belts, some basics, more elites, but nothing really that was popping out to us. Over here, though, is their mint on card section, which was stacked. Tons of basics, Sid, Rhea, Cody. You can see they even have the Chase Mr. Perfect, Duke Hudson, Andre Chase. They have CM Punk over here, the standard edition, which I never saw in stores. Only the Chase variant, quote unquote. So never know which one is the Chase anymore. Stone Cold, Batista, CM Punk in the t-shirt, as well as Seth Rollins over there, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold. They have a who's of everybody. I wish they had that Liv Morgan. It's a figure that I never found in stores, and I'm a big fan of the WrestleMania collection. They had Thea Hale, but not the matching Chase U version. Scoping through, and then I saw this. This is a figure that I've actually been after on retail and never saw. We found the Chase variant, and now we have the standard. It's $14.95, which is only a couple dollars more than what my retail stores would charge after tax, so it was an easy yes for me. No tax here. I just pay cash straight up, so I am stoked about this. They also had some Elites, some greatest hits, Cody Rhodes. No Chase Usos, but still cool to see them up there. There's Jimmy Uso, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and even some old ones. Yeah, awesome. Macho Fran loved this Slay Bianca Belair. I have to pull that one out so she can see it and really inspect it a little bit more. Very, very cool selection. Tons of stuff. Ronda Rousey, Bayley, Drake Maverick, Bret Hart. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan and you bring your kids down here for vacation, they're going to be in heaven. It's like a kid in a candy store, but a kid in a collectible store for me. Down here, they had some Jack's BCAs, which kind of shocked me that they were there, and they had some pretty decent prices. I was hoping that they were going to have some other things, like maybe some vintage Hasbros, maybe some Galoobs, WCW, but really, all they had was that Lex Luger Nitro Action, which was an easy pass. They also had Natalya from the Greatest Hits series, which I never saw in stores. And there is that Chase variant of the Ricky Steamboat that we had. It was actually only $2 more than the standard, which I think is a fair price, especially for a secondary collector store on the boardwalk, which is always jacked up prices. Over here, they had that vintage SmackDown 4-pack, which has He Who Shall Not Be Named in it. And then Macho Fran was very impressed by this Bayley figure. I always loved the gear on this one. That SummerSlam card as well just always popped. Some additional figures behind the scenes over here, behind the cases. They had Logan Paul as well as some Ringside Collectibles exclusives and Ultimate Editions. However, nothing that we really needed other than that Gunther, but I was not about to pull that thing off the shelf because I think it was about $45-50. Not really for me, but we are leaving with something. Everybody knows all it takes to make a fig hunt successful is picking up at least one thing, and we got two, so I would say this was a successful fig hunt. Starting off with this WWE Jack Pacific Deluxe Aggression Zack Ryder figure, $5, couldn't pass it up, and there he is rocking the Major Garage Beer sticker. Shout out to my friends over at the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, but also picked up this bad boy, believe it or not. Macho Fran found me the Chase variant of this quite a few months back. I think he's right over here in the white. Getting him over here, show you a little bit of Ricky. There he is. And I was actually really on the hunt for this one, the standard edition, which I never found. However, at this store, as you saw, it was $14.95. Here in my area, I mean, basics are $12 before tax. After that, they're around this. So I figured, you know what? It's worth it for me to grab it. Love the red. Love Ricky. Stoked to pick these up. So hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video and check out everything else we have on the channel. And we have a lot of good stuff coming. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE, Mattel, AEW, Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 7,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With figure photography by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Full-color paperback and hardcover editions available now at heelbooks.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeal.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.